Hi, me again. Hello and welcome. I hope you have a beverage of your choice, be it tea, coffee, or anything else, cocoa. I've got my green tea ready. Surprisingly enough, I don't have coffee on me at the moment because I've already had two espressos and it's 10 a.m. in the morning. Well, a.m., right? So yeah, I think I could use a third coffee, but I'll give it a bit more time. I'll have a nice, relaxing cup of espresso once I finish here, and yeah, that's going to be my next step after I've done talking to you, which, by the way, causes less and less tension as we proceed. And I think that's kind of to be expected from anything actually. Anything you start and you're not quite sure of it. Once you progress and go deeper and deeper, you just end up with better and better things and less tension and things like that. Well, of course, I can imagine there are people who are just naturals and they just go, balls deep into whatever endeavor they want to, and they come out on top of things. But that's not me. Unfortunately, I need to have at least several rounds of things I want to do before I actually not to go too deep into getting any good at whatever it is I want to do, but I do need some time to just getting used to doing something, and then I can actually develop and progress and things like that. I just need to fight the tension first before I get any good at anything. But that's me. And again, my story where I am, how I got here, and why I'm doing this. Okay, and going a step further into explaining why I'm getting used to, how I'm getting used to this, and how I'm actually trying to get the ropes of whatever it is I'm doing. I've even prepared a kind of a script for today's episode, which is wow. I actually didn't think I would go through with it, but I actually did, and it did give me a bit of satisfaction and a small sense of security that I have something to get on, to go along with, instead of just making it up as I go and just talking continuously without any script. As you might have noticed in the credits, you'd wish there were a script, but there wasn't, and now I actually have one. And today I wanted to talk to you about holidays. I actually wanted to record this, and the script itself and the idea for this episode came up during Easter holidays, which were a week ago, and it's been a week since I've actually wanted to record this, but yeah, the thing is that I am very hyped about this project, about this podcast, and once the hype subsides, whatever it is I am doing, it's really difficult to go on despite having lower lower enthusiasm, more calm emotions. I feel more calm instead of just I'm going to do something new. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Yeah, playing yeah, sure. Recording. Yeah, perfect. Painting. Yes, let's do this right now. And then the hype goes away. The hyper enthusiasm goes away, and I'm left with actually a decision whether I want to keep going or not. And I actually do juggle these the things I like doing and hobbies. I have to have several of them. Having just one, I would die of boredom, and boredom is one of the triggers to go back to active addiction, and that's something I never want to go to. So I have to have. Do I have to? I don't have to. I have a problem with saying that I have to do this or I have to do that, because as it turns out, and once you think of it, you don't actually have to anything. You either need to or you want to, and that's kind of my way of letting myself know what are my intentions, what are my expectations, intentions, and what I actually want. Another thing, if I say I have to, I immediately have this kind of fucking block that once I hear I have to do something, I actually want to do the exact opposite. And not go into what I actually want to do. But that's me. Maybe some of you have the same. Maybe not. Maybe we do have something in common. I mean, out of all the 8 billion people around the world, I just refuse to believe that I'm the only fucking snowflake having these kinds of issues, problems, and things like that. And it is kind of liberating to realize that, okay, on the one hand, you're not alone. There's a community. There's you can actively look for a community of sorts, and think of the things that think of the ways that you can communicate with people, get in touch with them, create a community of your own, or enter an existing community, be it surrounding, I don't know, books, games, comic books. There's a whole huge world of fantasy fans, of comic book fans. I mean, Comic-Con, to name one. And all that, and everything that goes into it. And even within comic book enthusiasts, you have subgroups, sub-communities, or you can have local communities, or friends from high school or from university that you still hang out with. Anything goes. So on the one hand, you have this kind of sense of community. On the other hand, you have this. Okay, I have this kinda humbling sensation that it's not even the case that I'm not alone. I'm not. I am and I'm not unique in a way. I'm not unique, meaning that I'm not the only person in the world having these problems that I'm having depression, suffering from depression, suffering from addiction, learning to live with both of these things, getting the ropes of living with myself and with all the fucked up things that I did throughout my life, learning how not to go into hypothesizing, which I've already mentioned before, that this is a really destructive thing for me. Not going to hypothesizing. If I didn't start drinking, or if I didn't go to get involved with Christianity that much, that my life would have been different. Would it though? Would I actually be so much in touch with myself and learn so much about myself? That would I have been any better if I hadn't started drinking? I don't know. Maybe if I didn't go into addiction, if I didn't start drinking, maybe my depression would have progressed in a way that I could be dead right now, because I would have committed suicide, and no amount of religious thinking would have stopped me, would have prevented me from doing that. I mean, in high school, or even before high school, I had absolutely no idea who I am, what I want to do in life, and I did have this kind of thoughts that maybe I would thank being crazy, go into and check myself into an insane asylum for the rest of my life, because I have no idea what I want to do with my life. And these were actual thoughts that I had. These were actual problems that I had within myself, but I had no one to talk to about this. What I want to do with my life, who I am, who I want to be, how I want my life to look like in the future. No fucking clue. I was, 15, 16 at the time when I would think that I want to check myself into an insane asylum. I'm sorry. I'm saying insane asylum just for you to get a deeper understanding and to make a shortcut of sorts. But I have now realized that this is very hurting for very diminishing for the people that are actually checked into psychiatric institutions, hospitals, and things like that. I, for one, was a patient for 2 months in a psychiatric hospital. Okay, it was a specialist hospital, but out of 3 separate wards, 2 of them were specifically for people suffering from mental problems, nervous problems. I don't know how to say. People who had, for example, anxiety issues. I mean, those kinds of anxiety issues that are so severe that they really impede day-to-day functioning, or for addicts. So yeah, I was a patient of one such hospital, and I'm sorry. I deeply apologize for what I've said, but I didn't cut that out on purpose, because I want to do this one take, and that's why you hear me doing a lot. This is just my live monologue, no cuts, and I think I like it that way. And I don't think I would want to change that to cut out certain parts. I also want to share the thing about me, meaning that I too am suffering from stereotypical thinking, from having certain ideas or concepts fossilized within my way of thinking, that I want to work on and completely erase from my vocabulary and from my thinking. And this is one of those things. And again, I am deeply sorry for what I've said. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. By the time I was 15, 16 years old, I did have the only idea for the future for myself that I had was to check myself into a hospital and say, okay. And now I'm saying this because these were my actual thoughts as a 15-year-old. Pretend that I'm crazy and check myself in for the rest of my life. Because that was my idea at the time and my knowledge at the time. And going back a bit to what I said, that no amount of church going or of Christianity could have probably wouldn't have prevented me from actually offing myself, because at the point when I was 16, I kind of got involved with the church, with the Catholic Church, to holy shit, to an extent that messed me up pretty good, unfortunately. And right now, this is something I want to talk about. I want to talk about Easter holidays, how I spent the holidays, how I spend each holiday, how I want to spend holidays, how I do spend them, what's the concept of spending holidays where I live, what bugs me about it. So just let me have a quick look at the script. You wouldn't fucking believe that I actually have a script with bullet points. Get it? Bullet points. Me and bullet points. Okay. So, holidays. Easter holidays. That's a really fucking religious thing where I live. Like, holy shit. The whole country, the government, at least the ruling party and their allies, everyone. I mean, I come from Poland, and Pope John Paul II was Polish, and fuck my ass, is there a shitstorm right now? Everybody knows. Okay, maybe not everybody knows. The information is out there in public that before he became Pope, even before he became Pope, he knew about pedophilia in church and did absolutely nothing, and he moved priests around from one parish to another just to hide the plain truth that these people, these men, were abusing children. Actual children were molested by priests, and none of the hierarchy did anything to make them accountable. That's before he became Pope, and afterwards too. He absolutely knew. There's just so much proof circulating in the world. It's out there in public. Everybody knows it at this point. And there's no reason to pretend it's not like that, that it was otherwise. You can, just... Okay, these people should have been brought to justice, but they weren't. It's not a forgivable mistake. It's not something that... It's not like making a typo in an official document. People's lives were fucked up for years to come. grown men, grown people, in their 70s, in their 80s, still can't speak about the horrors they went through as children. And half of the country is like, no, you left-wing motherfuckers just want to destroy the church and kill babies in their wombs and things like that, blah, blah, abortion is murder, blah blah blah, and I don't even want to get into it because I really am tired of bullshit like that. People who completely ignore medical facts, scientific facts, or just any facts, and they will just repeat and repeat and repeat and be in denial. And I really don't want to go any deeper into it. The situation is fucked up. Everybody knows that. So, yeah, go ahead and believe what you believe. But facts are not religion. And it's not like you can choose to believe these facts and disregard other ones. Facts are facts. They're indisputable. Okay, fuck it. Never mind. Just I want to let you know that Christmas and Easter are extremely religious holidays here in Poland. And I've started, even when I say happy holidays, I make it explicitly clear that I'm saying literally in English happy holidays, because there is no religiously neutral way of wishing someone happy holidays in Polish. That's how fucked up this is. Yeah, so each time I just say in English happy holidays and make it specifically clear that this is because I want to wish you all the best, as religiously neutral as can be. And it's really it's really hard for me to celebrate holidays. It's not even the fact about how religious it gets, because my family has never been religious. They take part in certain traditions without actually going to church. But they're not non-believers. At least my parents are. Sorry, had to have a sip of tea. That's good tea. But the thing have trouble the most when it comes to any kind of holidays is spending them with my family. And this year, when it came to Easter, I actually said, Mom, because she texted me inviting me for holidays, and I said, Mom, I've been thinking for the past 2 days how to respond, and just wanted to let you know that I'm not coming. And that's it. And she replied, that's too bad, but we still love you. And the thing that I got worked up about is that we still love you part. As if I did something wrong that I'm not coming. That's the thing I am focusing on, because I still view my parents as the villains in my life. And I kinda get really worked up about people who I view as villains, as the people because of whom I'm who I am. And as you can hear, it's because of them, right? It's not thanks to them, it's because of them. I'm what I am, I'm who I am. And I know I'm entering I'm walking on thin ice here, because on the one hand I don't want to hypothesize about what could have been, but on the other, when I say that because of them I am who I am, I'm actually blaming them and actually subconsciously hypothesizing that if they did a better job at being parents, I wouldn't be the person I am today. So I hope you understand this dichotomy of my thinking, and that's the point of me talking about it. And because I'm trying to, to get to terms with everything that happened in my life, and how who I blame for what and why, and how I can heal from these experiences. Okay, I did hear a lot of bad things coming from my parents, and my mom did absolutely nothing to prevent my dad from saying that he's ashamed to have me as his son, that he's going to call child services for them to take me away, and he will never look back, and things like that. So these are really horrible things to say. When I was a kid, I did some bad things. I mean, I would steal from my parents' money. I would steal from my sister every once in a while, and each time they caught me, because hey, it's not like the absence of money is not that detectable, especially if you have an envelope with cash. And that's how we would keep money for day-to-day life, and my parents got so pissed. I mean, I don't even remember if I was. No, I had to be in my early teens. And my dad would hit me real hard. I mean, there was physical violence, and emotional violence and abuse, and verbal abuse coming towards me from my dad. My mom sat there quietly and just did absolutely nothing. And these are the things that should never have happened, and no one is saying otherwise. I mean, I do understand that that my parents are a victim of their generation. I really do. But recently, I don't remember if I've already told you this, but when I approached my parents and wanted to, just talk to them about what happened, about how I feel about my childhood, they got into denial zone, and I don't feel that I was heard, especially that my mom got angry with me and just ended the conversation with just going to the kitchen to do the dishes. I understand it may have been difficult for them to hear things like that coming from their son. But on the other hand, I mean, I'm the one that has lived with these things all my life, and they had 15 minutes of discomfort and couldn't take it. So come on. But then again, I'm judgmental again, and tossing blame, throwing blame all around. Well, maybe not all around, but at my parents. So these are things. These are actual things that I am dealing with right now, which I'm trying to heal from. And one of the things that I've heard to heal from trauma, which is a real pain in the ass. I hate doing it, but I feel that I need to do it. And actually, I want to do it because I've come to a point where I hate myself for actually still caring about what they think. Because they never left my thoughts, as painful as they may be. And deep down inside, which I absolutely don't want to admit, and I'm really nervous right now, and hot and sweaty, and I can feel my heart racing. I think I still love my parents in a way, deep down inside. And deep down inside, I wish I had a loving family, a supportive family. But I don't. And that's where all my anger comes from when it comes to my parents. I don't know. Oh, this is more difficult than I thought. By the way, did you know that we're already far from the script that I wrote down? But yeah, fuck it. As I said, I really deep down wish I had a loving family, but I don't. And I'm looking for people who I can blame for this. Well, obviously, the easiest way to direct my anger is at my parents, which I am doing constantly. I'm doing it less and less, and I'm really trying hard for them to just disappear from my life entirely. Why I want for them to disappear from my life entirely? I know they are not gonna change. I know they are who they are, and they have every right to be themselves, even if it means being neglectful and thinking of themselves that they did everything right, even when they did many things wrong and made many mistakes. They have a right to not accept this and to not accept how I see it. It just hurts like a motherfucker. And I don't feel like the fact that we are genetically related somehow determines me attending family gatherings or being a part of this family, because it doesn't. This is an environment that is toxic for me because I don't ever again want to pretend anything regarding my life. I don't want to pretend that I don't have problems. I don't want to pretend that I am somebody who I am not. I don't want to pretend that I am not suffering from addiction, suffering from depression. I don't want to pretend anything. I've spent my whole life pretending. I've spent my whole... Okay, this was protecting myself. But god damn it, I'm 37 years old. And I can fend for myself and for my inner child. And this is a dialogue that I need to constantly have with myself and with my inner child, who's hurting like crazy, who was locked up inside me all our lives. And this is the point when me as a grown-up goes to meet my inner child and say, hey, it's okay, you're hurting. You've had it really tough. But right now, I've grown up. And I can take care of us. So just, it's gonna be okay from now on. Because I've got this. And this is a conversation that is so liberating. And I'm learning to really have it more and more. And to actually grow up and be the adult that has always been absent in my life, and be my own role model and be my own person to look up to and be my own savior and be my own best friend. And just, getting to making myself ready to meet the best and only friend I'll ever have or need. It's like meeting my soulmate for the first time, myself. And I am still not there yet, but I'm doing my best. And fuck me, it hurts like a motherfucker. But I'm getting there. I really am. I've already done so much for myself, for my health, for my mental health, to be a better person. And so many things have changed about me. I've done so much work, and there's still so much work ahead of me. Work that most probably will never end, because I'm constantly evolving as a human being, and I'm changing. So there's always things to, on the one hand, to look forward to, and on the other, to watch out for. Just... Okay, my number one rule. don't be a dick in life. That's probably the most important rule I'll ever have in life. Don't be a dick. And be kind to people. To all people. And I've put this on TikTok, going back to the very beginning of what I've been talking about today, about how fucked up the reality in my country is, and around the world, actually, with the rise of fascism around the world. It's really fucked up, and I would really like to have it in me to think about those people, that they are just misguided, manipulated, etc. But I'm not there yet. I don't have it in me to think of them that way, to actually pity them, that they have to be so aggressive, because I believe that they are so not okay with themselves, that aggression is the only way they can make sense of things and protect themselves. But as I've said, I'm not there yet, and I don't have it in me to think like that about them, and I just think they're a bunch of dicks. Idiot dicks, to be exact. And I kinda am and am not ashamed of the fact that that these are my actual thoughts, because well, they're human beings nonetheless, and as such, they do have a right to be respected. Oh, this is even hard to say that these people deserve respect, because I firmly believe that they don't deserve respect, that they that no one is too important not to get hit in the face with a chair and things like that. So I do have these thoughts, but the only way that we're gonna win is through peace and protesting, but peacefully, because we're better than aggression, because we have I have contact with myself, and I have my facts straight, and I don't have to be aggressive to prove my point, because my point proves itself. And I'm not afraid to say that. Perhaps I'm really stupid right now. I do leave a space for error and for being corrected. I really do, and I don't remember what I started from. Oh, I think I've meandered and digressed so far from the topic that I got to a place where I don't want to be yet in this podcast. So I'm going to talk about this another time, and I would like to go back. I'm really sorry about that, but you know how it goes. You just it's like talking to a person you've known for a long time, or just a person that you have really good contact with, and you just talk for hours, and suddenly you realize that you're so far off where you started from that you're wondering how the fuck did we actually get here. And that's what I'm having right now. Oh, another sip of tea. Sorry. So, I don't celebrate Easter, and I don't celebrate holidays, because one, they are religious holidays, Catholic or Christian holidays, and I'm not celebrating that. I'm not celebrating any Christian or Catholic holidays. I am firmly against institutionalized religion. But that's me. You can believe whatever you want. You can attend whatever gathering or religion you want. I'm just somewhere halfway pagan at this point. But yeah, I don't celebrate because I'm strongly against religious holidays. I don't have a need to celebrate religious holidays. I'm not that kind of person anymore. Religion, institutionalized religion, is a bunch of bullshit to me. Because of my experiences with the Catholic Church, and with what the Church has been doing for basically throughout its existence. So yeah, that's why I don't celebrate. That's one thing. Another thing is that celebrations like this, that holidays like this, always inevitably, and this is, I think, general, extremely general. It goes across cultures, works across cultures, and works across religions. That this is a family, a way for families to gather and be in one place, and just get in touch with each other and just meet with each other. But as I am really deeply hurt by my family, and I know that if I went there, I would not feel good there. So why the fuck should I go somewhere I don't feel good? Why? What's the point? I mean, I would really love to understand and to understand people who are still in contact with their families, even though they're completely toxic, they're abusive motherfuckers. I had a friend who I completely don't understand. I thought I did, but I don't. And it goes even. I mean, I respect that she has this kind of mindset and attitude, but she says that even though her mom is abusive towards her and neglectful, and says all these hurtful things, and is deeply rooted in stereotypical thinking, which my friend doesn't accept and doesn't like and doesn't and is against, she won't cut herself off because that's her mom and that's her family. And this is something I really don't understand. It's not something that I find in myself, and I would rather be alone than with a family I don't feel good with. I have every right to choose who I hang out with, who I consider my friends, my family, and that's what I choose personally. This is where I am going. This is my choice. So fuck my parents. Again, this is me just talking out of anger and out of spite. And I'm working on it to heal from them and to stop seeing them as villains. I mean, I have all those pictures of and photos of me having fun with my parents, me hugging my mom, me being happy, smiling, etc. And I refuse to believe there were no happy moments throughout the 18 years of my life that I spent with my parents. I refuse to believe. This is just... That's just impossible. It's improbable that that was the reality. And yet I can't, for the love of me, I can't remember a single happy moment. A single happy moment. Maybe when I start remembering these, my healing will progress. But it's like, okay, I'm getting divorced, and for a while, I was so obsessed with all the bad things that happened in our relationships. In our relationship, the bad things that I did, the bad things that she did. So we were a toxic couple, which worked both ways. And I was so fixated on those things, but at some point I started healing from that, and as time goes, I started remembering all the good things. That it's like a gazillion good memories, a gazillion good things happened throughout the 10 years that we've been together. I can't. It's like I'm saying, I wouldn't even know where to start talking about all the good things that happened. The little world that we've created, all the small things, all the happy things. Every time she smiled, every time she was happy. I'm almost crying as I'm talking about this, and I have all those memories, those fond memories of us being together. Of us going on holidays, of us being sad, us even quarreling, arguing, and of our wedding. I have all those happy memories, and I know it's better that we are apart. She knows that too. And I know I'm healing because I have all those good memories, and because our contact is better right now. It's because we're talking. It's because I can express my emotions finally. I mean, a while back, we've talked on the phone for like 20 minutes, which is a lot. And it was, I mean, I'm not living with my wife for 2 years now. And the 20 minutes that we've talked on the phone were like it was like the best conversation we've had for, I don't know, 3, maybe even more years. At least from my memory, of course. Because, and this is subject to bias, because it comes from my memory, but it was the best fucking conversation we've had in a very long time. And that's, from my perspective, from my point of view, is because I finally wasn't afraid, and I felt that I can express myself freely, and I can, just be who I am. Which was kind of impossible in the past, because I did everything I could to fit in, because I felt so insecure. It's not that she made me insecure, no. She was as supportive as can be. She was really, at the same time, with all the bad things that were happening, she, at the same time, was the best friend anyone could ever wish for. And I'm saying that completely confident of what I'm saying. And I forgot where I came from. Okay, let's retrace. Sorry, I don't think this... Hold on a sec. Okay, I don't... Okay, yeah. I remember now. My friend who refuses to cut ties with her family despite them being toxic and everything. And this is completely... this is not... that's not me. This is not what I believe in. I believe in free will and in having a choice. And I choose not to be there. And they said that my mom says, despite the fact that you're not coming, as if I did something wrong that I'm not coming, they still love me. And yes, I could completely disregard or not pay attention to or not even notice that she said how she said it. I could focus on the fact that she said that she loves me, that they love me. I could completely not think of it and just disregard that text and go on with my life. But it still stays with me. And I hope that I will heal from... I think I will. And going still further back to what I've been talking about, this exercise that is painful like a motherfucker. You take your traumas and tell yourself how this situation... to retell the situation in the best way possible. Like me having this model of a parent has taught me what kind of person I don't want to be in life. And this is as far as I got for at this point. This is that's as good as I can do right now. I really can't do better at the moment. Maybe I will in the future. I'm not pressuring myself, and I'm not forcing this because it does require time. I strongly believe it does require time for me to heal from traumas. So I'm giving it time, but that doesn't mean I don't need to put an effort into healing, because I do. If I don't and just let it slide and just fade away, I'll be doing exactly the same thing that I've been doing all my life, burying things inside me, and that's gonna come back and bite me in the ass sooner or later. It's like in my experience, and this is my experience only. I don't know if other people have that. Probably yes. Some probably not. But I don't know. This is my experience. You'd have to do some thinking on your own account. But my experience is that these things will come back to bite you in the ass if you don't put an effort into actually thinking through what has happened and making an effort to analyze the situation. If you bury your traumas, they're gonna just resurface sooner or later. Even if I work on them, they're going to resurface sooner or later, but I will have it so much easier once they do, because I already know what I need to know, and have lived through what I needed to live through, and made my peace with the things that I need to make my peace with. So yeah, that's my experience with holidays. I get the feeling that 5% of what I was talking about was actually talking about holidays, and that was the plan. But I hope you did find something interesting or something helpful for yourself. How does all that correspond to my mental health? I think I've said way more about my mental health than I intended for this episode. With all the talk about healing from traumas, what I do to actually feel better, that I'm living with my traumas, about my parents and all that. This all that is the sum that sums up to my mental health. Everything that has ever happened to me, it had a significant impact on my addiction, on my depression. If it weren't for another example of me doing the exercise I just did is, if I want to find peace with the fact that I am addicted, I tell myself it's thanks to addiction that I avoided there is a chance things would have been far worse if I hadn't gotten addicted. Like I said, it could be that I would not even be alive at this point if it weren't for me self-medicating, yes, with substances, but still it was a form of defense. I was defending myself from the way I was feeling, and in a way I do find gratitude for how my life went on ever since I was 12, because I started using substances to make me feel better without the social context of just teens being teens. This is again a stereotype which is very hurtful and very dangerous. And I know that I have a problem with saying with stereotypes like that, and I know that I need to put an effort to reshape my thinking about it. But going back, when I was growing up, it was very common that sooner or later you would have your first contact with cigarettes, you would have your first contact with alcohol, and you would have your first contact with drugs, be it marijuana or even heavier substances, more addictive substances. But that aside, sooner or later, when I was growing up, we would have contact with alcohol or cigarettes. That was unavoidable. And my contact with alcohol wasn't only with drinking with my school friends. My experience with drinking is for me to feel something, to feel like I matter, to feel someone, but to myself. And I started drinking alone, and that was the first time that I started self-medicating. It's not like it's like when I was in my teens, and the most common scenario was, we're starting to experiment with alcohol. because we have more and more crazy ideas in our heads and we want to go through with them. At this point, I was drinking by myself when no one was around because I wanted to be someone else in front of me, because I didn't know who I am, because I felt like crap, like I didn't mean anything. And my dad is my dad. He's someone. And my image of a person who is someone is that he's sitting in his chair, drinking after work, smoking cigarettes, and watching TV. This is the model of a person that matters, that is someone. This is the model that I had. So what better way to try to feel like I matter, like I am someone, than to copy my dad? So I sat in his chair. I poured myself a drink. And okay, mind you, I did not start with beer. My first experiences were already with the hard stuff. Even with 80-90% spirits, I drank with Coke. Okay, so it's not like having a beer or wine. No, I already, when I started, I went in for the heavies. That's me. With my dad's alcohol, with my dad's cigarette in mouth, watching TV, and I felt like I matter, like I'm someone. I felt something else than being a disappointment and being crap. That was my experience. My parents have long since forgot about alcohol. My dad hasn't had a drink in a really long time. At least that's what he says. Same with cigarettes. I'm not smoking right now. I stopped smoking a while back. Well, obviously I'm not drinking, or not using any substances. I found other fun ways to redirect my addictive behaviors. But yeah, I choose not to be part of my family. I would rather not have a family and long for a family of sorts and create my own family at some point. I mean, not remarry. Oh, I'm not talking about that. I don't think I want to be with anyone, at least right now. And this is where my loneliness and the topic, I mean, I don't know how far along are we actually? Okay, 68 minutes 45 seconds in, and the word loneliness appears for the first time in this episode. I mean, I think you do get it that there's a whole fucking lot of being lonely in this episode, of being lonely from my parents, of being lonely in childhood. And did I feel lonely during holidays? I spent them at home. I've spent them with my cats, and it was the best fucking Easter I've had in a while. Last Christmas, I spent last Christmas with my parents. I've spent 3 days cooking, and went with with a ton of gifts and with food and things like that. Showing that you can have traditional dishes, but in vegan versions. So yeah, that was one thing. Everybody enjoyed. The gifts were perfect. The food was perfect. Everyone enjoyed it, but I felt lonely. I felt that there was no one even interested in me, in the fact that I was there. You know? I felt more lonely during Christmas with my family than spending the next Christmas all by myself. Or even more, this Easter, spending it with my cats. By myself, at home, not going anywhere. I didn't feel lonely for a single moment during this Easter. And I think that's where I want to leave you for now, for this episode. Because just to show you my experience with holidays and with loneliness, that if I felt more lonely with my family than being actually physically alone at home during holidays, I refuse to believe that there's no one else feeling like that. And I'm not going to tell you to do anything. I would just like you to actually give it a little do a little thought experiment, maybe, and try imagining both scenarios. Where do you feel more lonely? And during next holidays, just go with the less painful version, less painful scenario for you. Sometimes, and this is again my experience, sometimes less pain is the best you can do. Still in pain, but at least less. And small steps sometimes matter more than focusing on the big goal. Because you can achieve the big goal only through the steps you take. And that's what I learned, and I'm still learning the hard way. Because I am very impatient and I would like to get to the big goal right now. Meaning without any effort. Using shortcuts. And that's just not how life works. Unfortunately. Okay. Thank you for being here. I hope you will have the rest of the day, night, whenever you're listening to this, peaceful, calm, and talk to you next time. Cheers.